It certainly is scary enough to be robbed by one or two people.
But when a whole mob comes to do the job, it's a whole different story. This happened recently at this BP station in St. Paul, and now it has happened again. Some 50 people surging into a convenience store in St. Paul to steal, and police are increasingly worried about this mob mentality. Here's KARE 11's Tricia Volpe.
Les Johnson runs what could be one of the busiest convenience stores in the West Metro.
It gets, pretty hectic.
With so many people coming and going, Les and his employees are vigilant. Any item stolen is a loss.
If someone's in the store for a long time, they're usually up to no good, because, it's a convenience store. People want to, get in and get out as fast as they can.
But what do you do when a crowd comes in all at once? Not just any crowd, but a crowd with a plan to rob the place. On Saturday, St. Paul police say 50 kids swarmed this holiday store on Wabasha, a so-called mob theft or mob robbery. They stormed in together, their numbers overwhelming, and just started stealing.
They steal your basic convenience store type of goods and run out.
It's the second incident like it in St. Paul in less than 6 months. Last fall, surveillance cameras at this BP on Lexington captured some 20 kids coming into the store at the same time. They stole merchandise, and one of them assaulted the clerk on the way out. Police worry about this kind of mob behavior, looking at similar incidents in other cities like this one, where a mob robbery was posted on YouTube. As for the incident at the Wabasha holiday, investigators say surveillance images will help them identify mob members. They cited at least 20 of them for curfew violations that night, but more serious charges are possible. With the kind of mob mentality, police say could get even more dangerous for both workers and customers.
The inclination might be to try and stop it. We don't want people to do that. We want store employees to be witnesses to shoplifting, not victims of assaults.
The mob robbery at the holiday store happened just before a shooting incident down the street where 2 people were injured. St. Paul police are looking into whether the 2 cases are connected. And I asked about how organized these groups are. Do they contact each other and say, let's meet here at a certain time, like a flash mob? Well, police say there's no evidence at this point that indicates these groups of young people are that organized. Mike and Julie.
They're young, aren't they?
They're very young, especially if they're getting cited for curfew violations. You know that they're young teenagers.
All right. Thanks, Tricia.